Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another midweek show of Round the Clock Cricket with me, Rahul. I have with me Sudeep, Ayon, and our new host, Ishanjan. We will discuss a very important and pertinent topic that is Gautam Gambhir, his tenure as coach, and why is the Indian cricket team failing badly in the test arena in the last 1 year since he has taken over. Very simply, why is Gautam Gambhir creating so much a problem and why is the team in such an nadir as it is now? A lot of websites discussing everything. We'll also try to find out the reasons. So we'll start off with Ishanjan, our new host. For the first time, Ishanjan, welcome to our show. We will now
Thank
discuss, yeah, we will now discuss. Each one will have our own viewpoints on discussion. So my first question, Ishanjan, is there was Mahela Jayawardene, there was Stephen Fleming, there was Ricky Ponting. We know VVS Lakshman also. Oh, he almost got selected, VVS Lakshman. So why do you think was Gambhir selected as the head coach of India team with almost no experience as red ball coach? Over to you, Ishanjan.
See, Gambhir was selected at that juncture. We need to look out at what the point of juncture that Gambhir was selected. He was selected at the point of that juncture where when India won the T20 World Cup under the coaching of Rahul Dravid, and India was, and prior to that, Gambhir has won the IPL for KKR. So in BCCI, our BCCI was looking for a adequate replacement of Rahul Dravid, and at that point of time, there I think they have emphasized on that point of that Gambhir has been, since they were on the mode of T20 cricket, so they have selected Gambhir on the basis of his IPL performance of triumphing KKR. So BCCI haven't kept in mind the record that Rahul Dravid unleashes in the Test arena. Only the point was during the time, if we see completely during the tenure of Rahul Dravid and Rohit Sharma, India have won each and every Test series, both in abroad, in India also. They were at the point of they were splitting only on the final of the ODI World Cup. They were just missing badly on the finishing touch, which they got at the T20 World Cup. So Gambhir was based on that point. Gambhir was being selected. I think BCCI haven't taken in regard the consequences that can happen in the Test cricket, because Gambhir was never been experienced in Test. Neither I don't think he has any has ever done any coaching in any Test. So it's an inexperienced coach, and it's a bad selection for BCCI. Might be BCCI could have gone with him in the white ball cricket rather than the red ball, because in the red ball you require a coach who is already experienced into that circuit. But I don't think Gambhir is having that enough experience into that particular arena. So it's a I will say it's a very childish, it's a kiddish act from BCCI in that point of view. That basis on T20 performance, they are selecting the coach for a national team in that aspect.
Thank
So
you,
in
Ishanjan,
my
and
viewpoint,
a good point because you said that the time when he was selected, Rahul Dravid had just won the T20 World Cup, so could have been heavy on
yeah,
BCCI's mind that they
is
wanted a white ball coach. So also the fact
white
that
ball coach
VVS Lakshman did not want to travel so much and they had no option.
travel so
There were a
much.
handful of options.
and
Uh,
and the other option is in NCA, they required some master class player like Rahul Dravid or VVS Lakshman. So BCCI have taken him
that
Lakshman
was
into
also a
that
very good
circuit.
point. Yes. They did not have a
Very-
replacement for VVS. Correct. True. Thanks, Ishanjan. You
yeah.
started off very well today. Ayon, my question to you is BCCI on hindsight now with a white ball coach with only two white ball, two IPL titles as captain, 12 and 14, and 24 as a mentor, that too not as a coach. Do you think in hindsight BCCI made a mistake by first tracking Gautam Gambhir into the coach of a very, very tough test team? We know the test arena is very tough, much tougher than the white ball. Do you think it was a fast tracking by BCCI which they are paying now?
Yeah. I mean, definitely. I mean, as I think Ishanjan also said, the mood was sort of set towards T20, and it's a fact that the Indian board basically wants to push T20 because that is their, duck which lays golden eggs. IPL is the biggest money-making machine that probably any sport has at this point of time. So that is what they really care about. And Test cricket has not been, the form of the game which BCCI really relishes. So it is like you would I mean, and of course the viewership is also much more towards white ball cricket and T20, and general feeling was India probably plays very few tests anyway. For example, the next series is, I think, what, 1 year away or more than a year away. So in the middle, I mean, in the meantime, if India goes and wins some, T20 and whatever those white ball cricket tournaments, then failures in tests will be forgotten. So I think what this basically shows the Indian government's, I mean, the Indian cricket board's total addiction towards the shorter format of the game, and they would want somebody who is proven himself in that format, because that is the format which they think the people of this country really relish. Test cricket is not something which even the Indian crowds are too much fond of. And because India plays very few tests anyway, so they feel that, whatever any kind of problem, short defeats or defeats, etc., that only some purists of the game who are very small in number, they only keep in mind. The Janta who make the money, they care about IPLs. They, Gautam Gambhir has shown his credentials as KKR coach. He's a very Kharus type of a coach. He has good, probably I mean, at least in IPL, he has shown that he can get players motivated. So that was the reason. I mean, this is clearly proof that the board doesn't give credence to test matches. This is very clear to me. Hey, Rahul, you're muted.
Yeah. So do you think, Ayan, that the board says that WTC is most important? Though, I mean, they think and they say that, but finally, uh, I mean, what is happening is basically completely different. I mean, what is coming out now is completely different to what they thought. And as Ishanjan pointed out, a very, very good point, that the mood was T20, it was upbeat, money comes from them, and so they
Yeah,
put in
yeah.
someone. So, do you think now with the amount of pressure that he is under, BCCI calling him in between two ODI tests, coach being called for a meeting in between a series, very rare. So, do you think, and we'll discuss this in the second half, do you think the pressure on him is now too much because of the backfire and the senior players? I'm not able to manage the senior players. We'll come to that later, but do you think that is now putting
I mean,
BCCI in a lot of trouble also?
so, Rahul, just imagine we have lost 5 test matches on the trot in India. I take out the West Indies matches because West Indies is not a tier one cricketing test side, at least at the moment. Right? 5 out of 5, which in the history of Indian cricket has never happened. Right? For the, 93 years that India has been playing test cricket, this has not happened. And calling him for a meeting because of this, I mean, this is the absolute minimum. I mean, I would have expected that after India lost 3 out of 3 to New Zealand, that time itself there should have been something drastic. Now you lose again. And this time, the second loss has been the worst defeat we have ever faced. After
Correct.
that, if you are telling me that just calling him is pressure, I mean, I think this is nothing. I mean, he should have been probably shown the door, at least for the test. I mean, there should have been upheavals. See, the problem, you can solve a problem only first if you admit that it exists. And
Yes, absolute. I agree.
that itself is probably still missing on behalf, on BCCI's part about India's performance in Test cricket. I do not see, people should be just slamming their foreheads and saying, "What the hell is this?" It's the spectators who are more angry. I mean, we who have seen cricket, who are sort of entangled with Indian cricket for the last 45 years or whatever time, we are the ones who are feeling much more shocked. BCCI is still hanging on the fact that after this, there is some T20 World Cup and this World Cup is, IPL and all, and that fervor, this will be forgotten. And then, New Zealand is probably, 1.5 years away. By
Wait,
that
1 year.
time, a
Yeah,
lot of, water will flow through the Ganga and everybody would have forgotten because you
absolute.
get the country addicted. IPL is an addiction for this country, right? So you turn that addiction on, and you have all your evenings filled with Chennai and Bangalore and Calcutta, Kolkata, and all, and that is it. Forget 3-0, 2-0. Who cares? I mean,
So,
pressure. Matlab kya? I really think there should have been upheavals after this performance.
so
What is
you think
happening is
BCCI,
minuscule.
so you think BCCI equally to be blamed as Gambhir, as a lot of cricket pundits
Absolutely,
are saying?
they are not giving importance to Test cricket. Very clear. I think we shall discuss the reasons also. I mean, being
Yeah, yeah,
specialists, but
correct.
it is very clear that they are not at all giving the credence to Test cricket at the moment.
Thanks, Ayan. We'll come back to you. I'll come back to you, Ishanjan. I've seen that. I'll come back to you. Sudeep, 2 minutes on his horrible man management issues. Since you handle a lot of unions and man management on your aspect, horrible man management issues by Gautam Gambhir, which everyone is saying. Again, the latest being that Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma are not talking to him. There was a cake cutting in after
Yeah.
the first ODI, and Virat took the cake
Virat
and
Kohli
went
walked
away.
away. Yeah, walked
Walked
away.
away.
Yeah.
There is a lot of pressure now on Gautam Gambhir. Do you think that his arrogance is what also we had in Samran Banerjee saying that he was very arrogant. He's always been arrogant. He had a huge problem with Kohli when he was playing and under Dhoni as captain. So do you think the man management part, since you handle man management a lot in your organization, do you think that is a big issue with him as well, which is leading to this huge problem in the overall setup?
Yeah. First of all, the first thing I would like to point out, is a coach. A coach should be like a mentor. He's not playing the game, but he has to guide the entire team. Now, for that, a coach should have some attributes like, patience, endurance, and, a temperament. These things are, sadly lacking totally in Gautam Gambhir. He is just too arrogant. He just thinks that whatever he thinks is right and others are wrong. So he just wants to bulldoze his views and everything on the thrust. He trusts upon on the players. So that is the reason, one of the reasons he doesn't like the seniors, because he cannot trust his views on the seniors simply like a bulldozer. So that is one of the reasons his team management is very poor. We have seen a lot of controversies recently, that they're, the seniors, Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, they're hardly in talking terms, and they have some kind of differences of opinions, have come up, have cropped up, in the media. So, see, we all know, how Gautam Gambhir, as a person, and his selection was, other than there were no few other options at that time, and Ishanjan has correctly pointed out, Indian was high on a high, after the T20 triumph.
20.
And also, it has a lot to do with, I'm not going into the details, a lot of politics also, very well, Indian board, BCCI, there's always politics, whenever it comes to selection and other things. So, this is one of the reasons, the people, people like Mohammad Shami. Just saying that he's
Correct.
performing so brilliantly in the Ranji Trophy. First of all, you are asking the chief selector, Ajit Agarkar. He says that you go and play Ranji Trophy, to prove yourself that you are fit at this
Correct.
level. And then
Correct.
if a player performs there, like Sarfraz Khan, Mohammad Shami, then you are just totally ignoring them. You are not even taking them for India A side. So what kind of double standard is this? I don't know. This totally devised logic. So I would like to just point out that this Gautam Gambhir has a serious temperament and problem, and I think it is not going to go because he cannot change his nature at this time. And it's better that BCCI gives him some kind of warning, but I doubt whether they will give him, because he has
Right.
to change his style of functioning if he wants to stay, because he is just not fit. Leave alone the white ball and red ball. Red ball, he's not at all equipped in any way to provide to be the coach. But white ball also, I think his temperament doesn't allow him to be a good coach. Will not allow him to be a good coach. Because a good coach has to be a mentor first.
So my question to you, Sudeep, is before I'll come to Ishanjan, I've seen that. What I'm trying to ask you is, Greg Chappell lost his job after Sachin Tendulkar complained. Duncan Fletcher just survived with the issue. A man like Anil Kumble lost his job after spat with Kohli. In Indian cricket, coaches have mostly bore the brunt because the players have been big. Gambhir has tried to do away with the star culture. That is very true. We agree. But not the way is not the correct thing. To do away with star culture and to do away with a person like Kohli and Rohit, whose contribution to white ball and red ball has been immense in the last 1.5 decades, you cannot possibly the right way, the way he's handling. Do you think, Sudeep, as an expert and someone who's watching cricket 40 years, do you think Gautam Gambhir might be given the red flag, as Ravi Shastri said today, might be given if it does not change quickly, and which you say is not a temperamental issue which cannot change overnight?
Yeah. As you know, the Iron has pointed out, very soon we are going to have a lot of ODIs and T20s and everything will be forgotten. This kind, this horrible results, the shocking results, everything will be forgotten in the IPL, once the IPL starts. So I don't know how the BCCI, I have very little faith in the way the selectors are working nowadays, there's very little faith. I mm, I'm not very sure. I'm not very confident whether they might. BCCI might call the selectors as well as the coach. For a meeting or
They have
discussion.
called. They have called
Yeah,
today. They
for
were
a
there today.
discussion. But
Yeah.
whether Gambhir will be given the red flag, I'm not very sure. I'm not very sure because
Okay. Thank you, Sudeep. Yes, Ishanjan, you had some point to add.
See, if we scrutinize properly the analysis of the career thesis of this Gautam Gambhir and Ajit Agarkar both, they both were limited overs specialists. Both of them were limited over specialists. If I scrutinize both of their performance, hardly Gambhir has few centuries into Test cricket, and that too in India only, not too much abroad. And same like Ajit Agarkar also. Ajit Agarkar hardly that
Gambhir
point of
still
time
has a
he
good
has
100 in New Zealand. He had a double 100 in New Zealand, which was a very, very good 100 in 2009.
yeah 2009 he was having some one. So hardly there is one or two performance, but he was lacking some good performance in Australia or South Africa only, hardly in even in England also. In that particular New Zealand series, he was into good form,
His
prime
average
form
in
that point of
Sena
time.
country is
So
22 in Australia and 12 in England. His average is
yeah,
extremely poor in Sena countries. Yeah.
very much poor. So BCCI is into that ideology that they are both and in that aspect I will even point out, not even BCCI, it's ICC. Both BCCI and ICC together, they are emphasizing much more into the shorter format of the game too much. So at that point, as you were saying about Greg Chappell, that point of time, there was actually full Indian total team was uh, that means a star-studded team that point of time, and in that for the management was in good hand. But right now, if you see the properly, as I pointed out on that day, that Indian team management, the BCCI management is not in proper shape, because if you they are lagging the proper hierarchy. If you see, where is the review committee? Because that point of time there was one review committee like Gavaskar, Mohinder Amarnath. Where are the review committee? If you are putting selection committee in place, then where is the review committee? Who will review? Who will scrutinize the performance of these selectors and coaches? Selection committee is there to scrutinize the performance of the players. Then where are the review committee? So that hierarchy, this actually the professional approach is missing very much. It's fully a political approach that the BCCI and ICC both are going on. They are going on
Good
in
point.
a total political. It's a
Which
like a
I think is
private
a,
limited company.
yeah, which is a point which Ian also said that the money is there wherever the money is, and
Money
ICC hardly cares. And the money is
hardly
basically
hardly
with
cares.
correct.
Money is
So
basically with the short white ball
yeah,
cricket.